Hello everyone, welcome to the Cosmic Wizard Show. My name is Rio Larmond and I'm here to bring a little love and magic to your timeline. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming eclipse on June 10th in the constellation of Taurus. So stay tuned, and if you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe. Alright, so let's take a look at this chart. This eclipse is happening in the constellation of Taurus here. And this might be a little bit different from what you're hearing from mainstream tropical astrologers. Here on the Cosmic Wizard Show, you know, we're tuned into the cosmos. We are going by what's actually happening in the sky, right? So if you were to look up, you would find that the sun and moon are in Taurus during this eclipse. So what's Taurus all about, you know? Taurus is about stability, security. If Aries is that sort of like seed of instinct where we're not sure where it's going to lead quite yet, but we're moving in a direction to like become our own person and to sort of separate from source in one way, from the group, from the family, that individuation instinct, right? Taurus is where we solidify down, you know, it's a fixed sign. It's about like getting into a much deeper relationship with ourselves, right? And building that like secure foundation and reliance and resilience within that relationship with ourselves. Taurus energy is very self-reliant. It is very self-sufficient. It's about, it's a natural sort of thing for all of us to look to other people to like give us love and give us validation and, all of that. But the truth of the matter is it's got to be an inside job, We have to be solid enough with ourselves to really just like have our backs and have that love for ourselves and just like really, really be there solidly. Like when my baby was like super, super tiny, when I would hold him up to the mirror, I'd be like, hey, look, that's your best friend. That's the person that's going to be with you no matter what, through thick and thin, as long as you shall live. That is your best friend. He was tiny. He didn't even realize that it was him in the mirror yet, right? But that's kind of like the vibe of Taurus energy. You got to be like solid for yourself. And so that's about all I'm going to say about Taurus at this moment. Let's take a look at what else is going on in this chart. We're going to have Moon, Sun, and Mercury really, really close together. Mercury really, really close to the Sun like that can kind of get burnt a little bit, and it can make it a little bit harder to communicate. Mercury and Taurus, like by sign, isn't the greatest placement. It's just a little like slow and heavy for Mercury, which is the fastest moving planet, right? And Mercury is also retrograde at the moment. So this might not be the greatest time for communicating with other people, but it would be an absolutely fabulous time. Anytime a planet is retrograde, it's turned inwards a little bit more. And Mercury is the magician. This is a really, really great time to have conversations with yourself, Something else that's going on is, at least where I will be at the time of the eclipse, we're going to have Neptune just like right on the ascendant, square this whole eclipse, right? So, and we've got Chiron, Pisces Chiron square happening to Venus, which is like the so-called ruler of this lunation, right? Because Venus rules Taurus. this could be bringing up, you know, body image type issues, just like feelings of lack, like you aren't enough, that kind of thing. That's the thing with Neptune though, right? Like, and when we're talking about Pisces energy, we're talking about Neptunian themes as well. Chiron is very much a wound of rejection, and sitting here in Pisces, and sitting here with Neptune on the ascendant, right, in square to this lunation, we might be feeling a little bit rejected. We might be feeling possibly just like a little out of place, like we don't really, like we're having a hard time really just like sinking into like who we are and what we want, this type of thing. Now is a really, really great time to just like sit with yourself and sit with your body, right? Because Taurus is an earth sign, right? It's all very much about the wisdom that we have coming to us from our body. It'd be a good time to meditate, right? Meditation is one of the good ways to tap into like Piscean, Neptunian type energy. This kind of energy can bring us in touch with higher realms, but this type of energy can also bring us in touch with lies, illusions, and deceptions, in square to Taurus energy, this could have us feeling like, our body isn't good enough, we aren't good enough, something about like our financial status perhaps, right, isn't good enough. We might be feeling a little bit rejected. Now is a really good time to just like sit with yourself and like tap into this retrograde Mercury. Go in deep and, have those conversations with yourself. Spend that time in stillness where you can like allow the messages of your body to come through, Because here's the thing. Something else that is very active during this lunation, what do we got in the strongest aspects zone? We have Saturn square Uranus. This is one of the biggest aspects of the year. It's happening multiple times this year. And it's very much about like breaking free from old conditioning, breaking free from all of the shoulds or, the way that you thought that you had to do things, and liberating yourself to just be who it is that you really are. It doesn't really matter like the old ways and the ways things have always been done, like that doesn't necessarily matter anymore. We're in a new world, and we need to think on our feet, and we need to be able to be adaptable. That's the word I'm looking for. When shit comes up, we gotta be adaptable, and we gotta be able to, shine our light a little bit and find new creative ways of making shit work in this world, right? Taurus is all about self-reliance, that self-love in the real way, the shadow side of Taurus can be like buying a bunch of things to like make yourself feel better and all that. But at the end of the day, it's about like having that actual relationship with yourself, having the connection to your voice, right? Taurus rules the throat chakra, being able to stand your ground, speak your truth, and be able to do that despite like all of these illusions of separation that are all around us, That's bringing in these like Neptune themes, right? So yeah, we have this Saturn square Uranus going on right here, and Uranus is the stronger planet at the moment. Saturn is retrograde already, so Uranus is still moving forward, moving faster, and Uranus is the liberator. It's time to have the self-love and self-respect to be able to step out of old systems that are no longer working. I hope that, I just realized that my microphone is way over there, so I hope that the sound on this so far has been okay. I'm just going to keep rolling and hope that everything is fine. Yeah, Uranus is about liberation. In Aries, this is very much about like liberating the instincts, liberating that little seed within you that feels like it has a certain direction to go in. Even if you don't necessarily know where it's going to go, what it's going to lead, the seed doesn't know the tree that it's going to one day be almighty and tall, but you got to take those first steps anyways. You got to liberate yourself from all of the shoulds and the things that you're doing just because someone told you that you have to. Like, this is all about conditioning, and this is all about tapping into your truer, deeper self and finding the path that you have to walk towards, and finding and being willing to step out of these traditions and structures that you've maybe been told are the only way. It's not the only way. We need to be creative. We're moving into a period of time where we need to be adaptable. We need to be creative. We need to be able to move and shift with the times. And now this is a little bit counterproductive, really, to all of this Taurus energy, right? Because Taurus is very fixed. It can be rather immovable. It can be very stubborn, right? So, how can you use that stubbornness to your advantage? How can you have a little more grit and start moving in a direction that's going to bring you like more to your Garden of Eden, right? Like, I always think of Taurus energy as super, super Garden of Eden. We're here on this earth. We have this body, which is amazing in and of itself, right? And really, at the end of the day, we have everything that we need. The earth gives us pretty much everything that we need. There's food, there's water, there's oxygen to breathe. It's about like stepping out of the like filters of the matrix. Like how much of our day do we spend being advertised to, being told like, these are the ways you aren't good enough, these are the products that you can buy that'll make you feel better, this is what you can do, you horrible wretch, to be a little more deserving of your life here on this planet, right? Like, it's constant every single day, just like images, messages everywhere, being like, this is what you need to do to be worth shit all, it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, like, that's just the fucking matrix telling you like, oh, this is how we're gonna get you to spend more money. I spent a weekend out in nature the other day, and driving back into the city was just a trip. I was like, oh my god, this place is just a giant mall. The truth of the matter is that we don't need that much, right? This is a good time to like practice gratitude and like really, really center down into what it is that you actually need. Taurus is about survivability, what we need to survive, and how can we like tap into our senses, into like the joys of being in a body, like just take some time to just connect with your body today. Like, take a minute to really like slow down and like eat your dinner, slow down and like feel everything, taste everything, smell it. We really don't need that much. Where can you like boil down and like pare down a little on things? And do you feel like you're in a place where you can really like speak your truth right now, and you feel like you're moving towards something that is your Garden of Eden, that is working towards your values, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus. This is all about values. How in tune to your values is your life right now? And let's take a look at this like Neptune action, and also this like Chiron in Pisces business. What sort of lies have you been accepting? A downside of Neptune energy too can also be like the delusions with Neptune can be very real. And if you're perhaps in a situation where you're like putting someone very, very much on a pedestal, putting situations very, very much like up on this pedestal and, you know, running away with the dream life, you know, Neptune, Pisces, this brings up like very, very rich fantasy and imagination, you know, but Taurus is about real life. This is stability, this is earth, this is survival, you know. Where perhaps have you been letting like your imagination take you sideways? Because if you're in a situation where you're like putting someone or something up on this big pedestal, convinced that it is the way, it is going to be like so beautiful, but the reality underneath that is, you know, you can't actually like express who you are, express your truth, really be, you know, just in who you are, right? Taurus is very much like, it's the grounding down into who we are and being stable with, you know, our personality and what it is that we want, being able to say what we want, being able to, you know, really tap into what we are worth, you know? And you are worth so much. Speaking to every single person watching this, like, you are a human. You have incarnated. You are powerful. You are beautiful. You deserve so much, you know? I see you. You are growing. You are love. You know, that's the upside of Neptune in Pisces here, you know? At the end of the day, we all come from the same source. We have more in common than we do have apart, which isn't to say that, like, the differences that we all have aren't like very real and beautiful and part of the rich tapestry of life, right? But I promise you, if you're watching this, like, you're worth it. Okay? I'm here to tell you right now, you are worth it. If you're living in some sort of fantasy dreamland, you know, trying to make something work because of everything that it possibly could be, right? It's looking at something and seeing the potential and being like, oh, but like if this happened, then this would be beautiful and then this would be beautiful. No, take it down to earth. Take it back down to earth. And you know, we got to talk about this because eclipses are often endings. But in this eclipse season, this is very much the eclipse of new beginnings as well, right? The last eclipse was Scorpio, which is very literally, you know, very much about death, right? So it's likely that through this eclipse season, you've experienced some sort of death, something that's coming to an end. And with this eclipse, it's time to like really focus on you, okay? Focus on the things that are keeping you paid, keeping you solid, keeping you in food and just stability, all of those sorts of things, right? And just really tuning into yourself, having those conversations with yourself about like, okay, what is it that you truly want? What do we need to tend to? What do we need to like tap into deep capacity for? Stubbornness isn't quite the word I want to use. Tenacity, okay? But, you know, we can't even look at it like that. Like, how can you use stubbornness for your own good? You know? Is there things that you're always saying, like, what are the things that you know damn well you need to do for yourself in order to take care of your body, in order to just take care of yourself, in order to really, truly be, you know, like, doing service to your higher good? Stop making excuses. Stop using any chance possible to just like fantasy out of it and just be stubborn. Be stubborn for yourself. Be stubborn for your own health. Be stubborn to get what it is that you want and be willing to actually like claim what you want, you know? Be willing to have that self-worth to be able to be like, no, this is the direction that I have to go. This is what I need to do to liberate myself, right? With Uranus, we're always talking, well, not necessarily always, but one of the big keywords here is liberation, right? And with Taurus, like, this is talking lots of stuff of the body. This is, and you know, with this square from Uranus to Saturn in Capricorn, this is giving me like big time devil vibes if you know the tarot at all, right? Like, what is it that you are chained to? What bad habits have you chained yourself to that you hold the keys 100%? You know, are you smoking? Are you drinking way too much? What sort of garbage are you putting in your body that, you know, you're lying to yourself and telling yourself that it's fun, but actually you're poisoning yourself? Like, nah, boo. It is time to, you know, look in the mirror and have some of that like deep self-love to the point of being willing to do the hard things, you know? How can you be stubborn for yourself to truly take care of yourself? Not just in the like treat yourself, gonna spend a bunch of money and get a dopamine hit and feel like that's okay. Like, how could you actually take a step right now to like truly take care of yourself, you know? And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna say about that. Don't get caught up in the illusions, you know? Don't, whoa, that's weird. Interesting. Jupiter is completely unaspected in this eclipse. This is just something I'm noticing at this moment, so I'm just going off the fly here. You know, what's coming through for me at this moment is that, like, luck, totally unaspected Jupiter, you know, luck might not be on your side at this time. And you know what you got to do when luck isn't on your side? Fucking dig in and just do it harder, you know? Do the work. Take those steps. You know, this is giving me the vibe that, like, what you want isn't necessarily just going to fall from the sky and appear. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm big on manifestation and stuff like that, and I personally am quite a lucky person. I've got lots of Jupiter in my chart. But, you know, with an unaspected Jupiter, you know, Jupiter is also, it's kind of like the god, you know, the teacher, you know, very much tapped into luck, you know, and I'm saying, you know, way too much, my apologies, but it's not just gonna fall out of the sky, and some god isn't necessarily just gonna show up and be like, here you go, here's all the answers, here's what's gonna happen. A teacher is not gonna be there to tell you what it is that you have to do. You know damn well what you have to do. Now you need to do it, right? This is Saturn's medicine right here. But I think that this can bring some of this Taurusness in, right? Because we're talking about the stubbornness of the bull, the tenacity, the ability to just like root down and get it done, you know? If Aries is the seed, Taurus is the one who tends it. It's time to stop hoping that the answers are just going to fall from the sky and be your own teacher, be your own god. Get it done, you know, because you're worth it. Because you deserve that love that you look for from other people from yourself. Because you deserve that care, you know? Don't fall for the lies of everything that you need, and like in order to be happy you need to put a bunch of garbage in your body, garbage on your body, buy a bunch of shit you can't afford. No, that's not, you don't need that. You gotta have love and respect for yourself. You gotta eat some goddamn vegetables, you know? You gotta take care of your financial situations, you know, because Taurus often brings these sorts of material concerns in, you know. Focus on Venus. The Taurian Venus to me is always just like so juicy, right? It's like, it's the Earth Venus. It's feeling into all of those senses, you know. And with Taurus, we're always talking about survival type stuff, but like how can you turn like survival into a luxury. Like, savor these small steps. Savor taking care of the things that you actually need. Like, actually need. Not all the bullshit that we're fed about what we need, you know? Yeah. I don't want to go too long on this. I just want it to be sort of short and sweet. I would also point out that, Venus, the ruler of this lunation, is in Gemini, right? So, that's more student energy, right? With Jupiter, the teacher, being totally unaspected, and then Venus more in the sign of the student, be open to being curious. Be curious about any sort of messages that your own body is telling you. Be curious about, just anything, really. Tapping into curiosity, I feel like, is a great way to tap into Gemini energy. And we've got Mars just entering Cancer as well. Like, take care of your home. If you're not, a lot of us have been spending a lot of time at home lately, right? And it's gotten to the point where, like, it's just boring, and that's where we are all the time. But you know how good it can feel to, like, refresh the home, reorganize a little bit, clean your house, just take care of those little details, and just focus really hard on your foundation, like I said earlier, it's the stuff that you need, not all the bullshit they tell you need, the stuff that you actually need. Just tap in really deeply to that relationship that you have with yourself, do some meditation, tap into what it is that you're looking for, and when necessary, like, use your voice to speak your truth, which I suppose is always necessary, but I digress. Anyways, I hope you all have a fabulous eclipse season. As of the day that I put this out, if this is prior to the actual eclipse and you'd like an eclipse horoscope, reach out to me. You can find me also on Instagram at Cosmic Wizard Astro. And yeah, if you like these videos, like, subscribe. I've got a Facebook page as well. I do horoscopes all the time for new moons, full moons, that sort of thing. I do one-on-one readings. Get in touch if you would like to talk with me, go deeper in your chart. I've been seeing a lot of really powerful self-inquiry, and it's been just an honor to be a part of that happening in the greater collective. So I would love to continue. I'd love to take a look at your chart, imbue you with some courage, some fire in your heart to move in the direction that your soul wants you to, imbue you with just some love about your talents and your skills and what it is that you are here to bring on this earth, because I feel like all of us, no, I take that back, I know for a fact that all of us have something special to bring to this planet, and we all got to start working together. So I hope you have a fabulous night. I hope you have a transformative, powerful eclipse. It may not be comfortable. Eclipses often are not. But I will see you around. Goodbye. You can make it through. I know it.